You don't know what love is till you learn the meaning of the blues. Till you learn to love you had to lose. You don't know what love is. You don't know how it's till you kiss it, you put the ball. Till you slip your heart. Ooh, ooh, you love. You don't know what love is. Do you know how lost I've been? Because of reminiscing and how you let taste of tea. They just do their place for kissing. You don't know how hard burns. Love cannot live yet. It'll never die. Till your face are done with sleepless lovers. Oh, you don't know what love is. You don't know. You don't know.
One thing I always like to do is whistle. I find myself whistling if in deep thought when I first get up in the mornings. If a song is within me and I want to work it out, I'll whistle. And I learned to do this as a young child. Maybe I had the blues back then, I don't know. But as a very young person, I could really, really whistle. One of the crafts my father used to do. On his way home from work, I could hear him off in a distance whistling. And I just kind of picked that up from him. In fact, I think out of 5 children, 3 girls, 2 boys, me being the youngest, I think I'm the only one who does that. This is what I like doing. Came to give a show and that's what you're gonna get. Well, I tell him that, I say, hey, I'm going out here and I'm gonna give a show. Like I say, I keep his picture with me all the time. Because I credit him to me singing. I wouldn't have wanted to sing, but look like I'm propelled to do so, you know. But and that all came about after his death. So I associated. It's what gave me that push, I guess, you know, to want to share it. And I want to share my voice all over the world. And I plan to do just that. My mother, being a minister, she, you can say, kept us in church. We would go all the time. And I guess about age 7, I would say, well, being I'm in church, I like to sing. And one time they asked my mother, said, you know, let us take her to church with us. Well, now, I told you my mama, she was kind of reluctant because I am the youngest, and, you know, she was kind of worried then. It's like I say, during the time of segregation, we are speaking of being in Florida, surrounded by Alabama, Mississippi, places like that. Ku Klux Klan was prevalent. So when it meant segregate, it was just that. And she was a little reluctant because she didn't want anything to happen to me, you know. So I didn't understand. I convinced her. I said, please, you know, let me go sing. So she let me go to church with them. And I'll never forget it. It was filled with people. Well, they were white, or everybody. And I'm the only little black thing there. And I was singing Sister Rosetta Thorpe. That was my gospel item. I think that's where it started at. You know, when I look back on it, I think being able to be in front of that many people and then constantly at church, you up in front of, kind of, you know, gave me some leverage. Although I didn't know, because I never planned to really sing. I left it alone. I was in my teens at that point. I didn't want to sing. And then I didn't do it anymore for many years, you know. 61, and I lived Churchill until 71. It's changed so much up in here. But we'll go around to right here. This is where the very first place I stayed, right here. Right here. This is kind of sad because all of them are dead now.
It's completely empty.
It has been for a long time. Nobody is still living. All of them are deceased. Miss Gibson them lived over there. Cookie them lived here. Miss Ord Montague. All of them are dead. Like I told you, my husband was an alcoholic. So was his mom. So was his sister. And like he went overseas and left me to contend with this. You know, I didn't know I was leaving Florida. My mother is a minister. My mother's a preacher. It has been since I was 8. I had no idea I was coming into that type of environment. And I think I still kind of hold that against him. But, you know, why didn't he let me stay? Leave me where I was. If you weren't going to go through the adjustment with me, you know. So when I looked at the house, it just brought back so many bad days, you know, and I had to contend with this. You know, I hate to see the weekend come in. Because at that time, I didn't even drink, you know, when I came here. I didn't drink. And they would drink and fuss and fight. Till one day I said, okay, enough is enough. I was working at MCV in Sick Baby Nursery. I said, like it or not, I'm leaving this place. And I called the police and got them to stand while I got my things out, and I moved north. When I moved out, I didn't look back. And I managed to go forward, you know. I wanted a child so bad. Took me 4 years to get me here. And he was born premature. 4 pounds. Wow. Look at him now.
Yeah.
But I used to love to just be with him. I haven't been there in a long time. I haven't been on this street. But it was nice. Me and my husband and both my boys, because Pierre went to school down here. His first year of school was down right on the next corner there.
So he could just walk a block to school?
Wow. His brother and I would walk him to school. And we'd come back and I'd fix him a little cup of tea and me a cup of tea. And I'd look at him. He was about 4. I said, what are we doing? And he'd take a sip of his tea and he said, we are sipping tea and talking. And I like that. And that's exactly what we were doing. This was my youngest son, Bubba. Call him Bubby. I named him another name that about age 4, he didn't like that name. He was, you know, like, I want to be called Bubby. And I thought he was playing. I said, okay. So later on, I called him, and I knew he heard me, but he didn't answer. So I called him again. He didn't answer. So I went to him, and I said, look, you heard me. He said, but you told me I could be called Bubby. My name isn't Nini, it's Bubby. I said, oh my God. So here, the whole family I had to tell this to so they could adjust in calling him Bubby again. We were very close, and he was a very obedient. I think that's what fascinates me so much, is that if you told him not to do something, he didn't do it. He was very good at that. I used to love to just be with him. I give it to my husband. I was working at Memorial Hospital. He told me, he said, you know, one of us need to be home and teach these kids manners and things like that. I didn't want to stop working. I love to work, you know. So he said, if you're going to stay home, I'm going to work, if vice versa. So for 4 years, I was, you know, I didn't work. I was with my kids teaching them. So 4 years later, went back. They said, we don't have an opening, but we'll make one. And they did. So I went back in the pediatrics for a few months, and then I went into psychiatric, where what I currently do now. Still in. From the children to the adults. Yeah.
To your audience, taking care of everybody.
I like that. It's still my audience, just a different performance. And I try to be as not, no, I don't try, I do. What I do it. And I do it well. So my job at the hospital, I take as serious as my singing, or more so. A lot of people say, how you do it? You've worked 8 hours. If you really like something, you'll get that extra burst of energy. Mm-hmm. It's like I haven't done 8 hours.
Yeah.
I like that. You know, a lot of times I need that. My youngest son, Bobby, like I say, he didn't allow me to cry. And I'm a very emotional person. You know, you can tell me something good, and I can feel it. I see it, you know. And he'd come in, oh, I got this award today, and he'd be nonchalant, and I'd be, you know, just carrying on over, and he'd tell me, you're getting emotional on me. So he kept it hidden from me. I didn't know he was gonna get a scholarship to go to St. Paul's after graduation, and he didn't tell me. So when I went to St. Paul, went to his graduation, they announced for you to stand up, as they call your name, for scholarship. And boom, he stood up. I went, whoa, you know. I was really shocked because he was playful, you know. So that's I think that would be one of the greatest moments that I remember. came in from drill and I was asleep. And always when he would come in, he would come upstairs if I was home and he would kiss me and I'd say, well, how did it go today? He said, today it didn't go that well, and I was kind of dozing. I said, what happened? And he showed me the rash on his neck. He said, a tick bit me and I went to pieces. So he just, you know, I told you he didn't like for me to cry. He said, oh, I took care of it. The safety person took it off. You know, I guess about 3 or 4 weeks later, I was at work and my grandson called me and he says, Uncle Bubba is marching into your bedroom and in the hallway. And I said, oh, that's okay. I said, he goes around to the different lodges and help the mason on their drilling. So I just thought he was practicing. So later on, he called me at work again. He said, he's lying down on the floor, asleep. I said, well, he always liked to lie down on the floor at points. So do I, because of my back. So nothing to alarm me, you know. I came in that night from work and I went upstairs to leave the money, and there he was, still on the floor. Now I said, now that's a long time on the floor. And I reached down and he said, I love you. And I'm looking, I said, honey, you got to help me get you off this floor. What's the matter, you know? And he tried to help me get him off the floor. And just, that's when I dialed 911 and they came out. We got him to the hospital. And I went in after a while when they let me back there. I went to him and I said, you know, I whispered to him, I said, honey, come back, come this way. I don't know why I was saying that. I said, I'll go toward that light, come this way. And he sat up and went into a grand mal seizure. And they tried to save him, but they couldn't. And it's a strange thing because it just didn't dawn on me that he was dying. I had nothing like that in mind. I thought my son was gonna come home from the hospital with me, in which he didn't. You can lose many things, but your child is a different thing. There's nothing like it. Nothing like it. But, you know, nobody can tell you how to handle it. They can suggest. And everyone have to move at their own pace, do it their way. This was mine, to sing my grief. And at this point, I'm having fun with it. I'm having fun. I look forward to doing so, you know. So, as long as I do this, I'm okay. And then if the people enjoy it, I'm doubly okay. That's my main thing. How people receive what I'm doing. Like How about that?
Ooh, yeah, I got the blues. Every day I got the blues. Every day I got the blues. You silly company, do I hate to lose? No, my love. Ain't got nobody, nobody loves it. Ain't got nobody, heartache, lady, have my share every day. Every day, every day, I got the blues. What's on earth? Tell me what I did wrong. What's on earth? Tell me, baby. Tell me, baby. Tell me, what did I do wrong? What did I do wrong? You gave me the blues. Gave me the blues. You gave me the blues. You gave me the blues. Oh, my. You gave me, you every day. Hey, I got the blues, I got the blues. Every day I got it, I got it, I got it.